J.J. Spaun, easiest hole on the golf course, 24 birdies today here. He could use one.
He's got good vibes on this hole too, Terry. He has birdied this hole every single time he has played it.
He can't see that up there. It's so much uphill. This is probably the most important drive of J.J. Spaun's life.
It's about 309 yards all the way to the front of the green. 16 yards less gets you to the fairway.
Hit a low cut would be perfect. That's a good line.
Oh, this is one of the best drives.
Yes, it is.
Gotta slow down.
What a shot.
How about this?
The best shot of his life.
J.J. Spaun on the green with an eagle try coming up at 17. It looked, it sounded good from the start.
Just right up the sweet spot. Looks like a putt coming in there. Incredible shot.
Think back to that playoff he lost to Rory McIlroy at the Players. He said it was really important for his confidence, but the heartbreak in that moment on a Monday. TPC Sawgrass, what a great chance coming up. Hovland now.
Out to the right.
Yep. That's what he did yesterday. And that, he'll be able to hit ball first there. He hit one of the great shots yesterday from the right of that bunker. But he needs a 3.
Going to need another one. He trails by 2.
And J.J. Spaun has a putt to take a 2-shot lead.
It's amazing the turnaround. Started with 5 straight 5s, and now
so
he's
composed, hasn't he?
got a chance to take the lead by himself. Mike.
2 players tied for the lead. Last playoff at the U.S. Open was 2008. We showed you that with Tiger and Rocco. Back then, it was an 18-hole playoff. But if it's a playoff now, it is 2 holes cumulative score. The USGA, we understand, has just told McIntyre that if there is a playoff, it will be tomorrow. With dying sunlight and 8:50, the sun set. The word that we are getting is that the USGA has informed McIntyre, who's tied with J.J. Spaun, if there is a playoff, it would be tomorrow. So add one more piece of information to this absolutely wild Championship Sunday. Back to Burns.
Just listening in. To caddy, just trying to keep him relaxed, keep him cool. 16.
Scott Burns buried in the rough over here. Just coming unraveled for Adam Scott. Now Burns.
This lie's just as bad, but a terrible stance as well. Barely carries to the green.
These guys are just getting kicked around right now. Scott's coming off back-to-back bogeys. Burns another double. They're fighting the 16th, and it's slipping away for the final pairing. Hatton is on the tee at 18. Has to have a birdie.
Better hang in there.
Get lucky.
Ooh, looks like bunker, Dan. Seen a lot of guys have to lay up from there.
And there have been only 3 birdies at 18 all day.
As the walk continues. Think about this man's career too. I mean, thought about it, stepping aside last year. He was so frustrated. It was December. He actually was on a flight. He said, saw a movie called Wimbledon about a journeyman tennis pro who was about to give up, but he goes on to win Wimbledon, and it resonated with him. He said it actually had an effect on him. Started to turn things around, and now is here.
Adam Scott trying it again, and now he's up on the surface.
He talked about how hard he's been on himself, Jay, hasn't he? You know.
Spaun still to come here at 17, but it'll be Hovland first. You got a look, Smiley?
Just checked out the lie, Terry, and It's one where he can get his club underneath the ball. I think very fortunate it didn't go another foot into this rough, and he really would have been in trouble. So it's a shot I think he can potentially handle, but it's very difficult. And if you remember earlier this week, Victor Hovland did chip it on this hole for an eagle, and that's exactly what he needs right now.
He hit shot of the day yesterday from right of that bunker here as well. And I think Victor's much happier with the sandwich when he's hitting out of rough than he's hitting out of tight lies.
I mean, it's just such a steep downslope. It's one that you got to get all your weight on that front foot fax, and then you just got to throw the head at the bottom and try to get some loft on it.
Yeah, he's lucky he can see the back of the ball. That's got to give him some confidence here on this shot. Got to make birdie.
Oh, he pulled it off.
Yes, he did.
What was better, this one or the one yesterday? Unbelievable.
This one's on Championship Sunday.
He even got that to grab, Terry. Moisture helped there on that shot.
All Hatton can do is pitch out. And so now he's got to hold that.
Those misses to the right off the tee coming down the stretch cost him a chance.
One by one, they're falling back. 17.
So J.J. Spaun with an eagle try at the second to last hole as he shares the lead.
It's a downhill putt upcoming for J.J. Spaun. About a foot or so of breaking it from left to right.
18 feet.
Got up to the green. The sigh. The exhale.
They're feeling it.
Yeah, he's already made more feet of putts today than he has any other 3 days this week.
Never made an eagle in a major championship. This for sole possession. Oh. Not quite done yet.
Not a gimme.
Not
that
done
was
yet.
So fast.
Carlos Ortiz is also in that situation where he has to hold this.
Gonna need to fade a lot from there.
And so Ortiz is officially out of it. Hatton has a miracle chance still, but is turned in to Spaun and McIntyre. 16 burns for par.
Excellent putt, but these two guys have just got to feel terrible. Just can't get anything going here late in the day.
3 feet 6 inches away for birdie.
He's #1 strokes gained putting starting today.
J.J. Spaun, the leader, by himself with 1 to play at the U.S. Open.
He knows what he had to do there, Terry. He had to drive it up there by the green, make a birdie to take the lead.
As we mentioned earlier, Hatton has to hold this. McIntyre in with a +1. Spaun has bettered it. Hatton hates it.
A lot of balls going left out of these wet fairways. It's interesting. Normally it squirts to the right, but we've seen so many misses left.
Back to 17.
Just outside of 3 feet to have a chance here. Still alive, Viktor Hovland.
That was class right there. Absolutely class. But he's 2 back of J.J. Spaun walking to the final hole.
Back at 16, Adam Scott for bogey. And seeing his dream of a second major go away. In the meantime, did you ever in your wildest imagination think that J.J. Spaun would be in this position after bogeying 5 of the first 6 holes? The answer would be no.
No, I'd already written him off in my head at that start and just slowly hung in there and hung in there. The putter started to heat up, and what a drive he hit on 17 right at it, knowing he had to finish 1 under the last 2 to win the U.S. Open.
He was 4 back at the turn.
We were talking, Dan, about who the break might have affected the best or the worst. Spawn's certainly recovering better than anyone.
Since that interruption of play, McIntyre went 2 under, and Spaun has gone 2 under as well. So it certainly helped them reset with the U.S. Open trophy in the hands of J.J. Spaun. Almost.
Is starting up the left side, and this is that patented cut right down the middle.
What a beauty. 2 awesome drives on 17 and 18 for him.
All the great champions seemingly have hit this fairway when it mattered. The last 2, Dustin Johnson 2016, Angel Cabrera back in 2007. Piped drives down the 72nd hole at Oakmont. Again, this hole has given up just 3 birdies, and Hovland has to have one to have a chance.
Starting up the left side, cutting towards the right side of the fairway.
First cut, I think.
Doable as we send you down to Cara.
Dan, I'm with a very interested spectator, Robert McIntyre. What an incredible final round you put together. 68, huge fist pump on 18. At what point today did you start believing you could win this US Open?
I think it was going up about 12 after the restart. I seen that the leaders were at even par, and I thought, I'm still in here with a chance. And I don't know if I ever believed that it was the moment, but it was just give myself a chance, and I seemed to drive the ball really well. Gone to a cut for this week. Just if in doubt, slice it. Try to know the curvature. Done that well coming in, and yeah, just take my chances.
You called your even par round of 70 on Thursday the best even par round of your career. How much have you had to fight mentally to stay in it this week at Oakmont?
Yeah, I've had to. I mean, I had to speak to the right people. All my coaches, everyone knows who they are. But I spoke to someone during the week that Mike said to me on Friday, attitude has to change this week. I mean, I was angry, getting annoyed at every shot, but you just can't do that out here. So spoke to a guy that helps me with my psychology, and yeah, here we are, standing here waiting to see what JJ does.
Attitude and some Scottish weather. Well played. We'll see what happens. Dan, back to you.
But a par wins it for J.J. Spaun, barring a miraculous hole out by Hovland at 18. This was earlier Ortiz for his birdie at the last. And this guy just came out of nowhere as far as major championship play this week.
He's a heck of a ball striker, as we've seen with his green and regulation stats, and I'll bet you that's a spot that J.J. Spaun will be looking to putt from.
And this was Hatton for his par.
Not going to be there high enough.
You heard McIntyre talk about attitude, and attitude was what all the players were talking about before this championship began. Yeah, you had to have your skill set, you had to have your game, but they all talked about the mindset, and you talked about it, Kiz, as well. You don't have that in a week like this where we've seen all these curveballs thrown at these guys. You're lost.
Just deal with so much adversity in a setup like this. You can hit good shots and it not work out. You can catch good lies and bad lies, and it's how you handle that and continue to step up to the next shot and hit it.
Still been a heck of a week for Ortiz, whose younger brother Alvaro qualified to play in this championship. He missed the cut. He's here. Ortiz's parents are here from Guadalajara, Mexico, and they just watched their son with his finest major performance of his career by far.
So Sam Burns, his second here, probably needs to hold this to just have any kind of mathematical chance. I don't know who you picked at the start of the day. I doubt you had Sam Burns and Adam Scott both at 8 over for the day today.
Not a chance. And Sam Burns was affected the worst by this delay and got maybe one of the worst breaks, not being able to move that ball on 15. He should have been able to take relief from there. That's a bad call.
Spaun's family is here this week. His 2 daughters, which have, he said, have been a pleasant distraction. I mean, because this guy has been right in the middle of the limelight since that opening round 66, bogey free. And we talked about it all week long, how there was a time in his career, Kiz, where he said, I was scared to have the ball. He said, I was scared to be in the big moment. Boy, he's proved it otherwise this week. Smiley, what about this second shot?
Well, right now the rain is really starting to come down. Not like it's hard enough to win a U.S. Open. He's got to continue to face the conditions. 202 yards all the way to the hole in Kiz. A wet golf ball, green that might have a little bit of skip to it. That is what I would be concerned about.
The ball looked like it picked up a little bit of mud on the forward right side of it as well. But this shot shape fits him well. Left to right lie, right pin. Start it to the left and let it bleed.
This is 6-iron up the left side of the green.
Almost where Robert McIntyre, I mean not Robert McIntyre, I'm sorry. I just saw Carlos Ortiz putt from there.
2 putts from there, but that's anything but easy. There's McIntyre. Saw the graphic earlier talking about Tommy Armour, who won the first U.S. Open held here in 1927. The Silver Scot, the last player from Scotland to win the U.S. Open. So McIntyre awaits anxiously, and there's Hovland's lie. Smiley, it looks decent.
It is, sure is, in this first cut here. Exact same distance that J.J. Spaun had.
I don't think that's doing anything, to be honest. I think it would help. That's not helping much right now. Yeah, but dude, look at the conditions. It's wet. We have a backstop. You do have a backstop? Yeah. As I said, you got 96 and it plays up 6. 184 up 6. 84 up 6. Just to let you know, JJ just hit 6 iron. He's from the fairway off. Man, that is sitting down. Yeah.
Yeah, we have 5-iron in the hand, but because it's sitting down in this first cut, he thinks he can get that 6-iron there, and I don't disagree.
Hovland's got to have birdie and hope for a 3-putt from Spaun.
Out to the left on a similar line to JJ.
Yeah, they're going to show him the line, going to show him the speed. What a break for JJ. That's like a dream right there to see one roll on that line before you have to putt it.
Back at 17.
Burns for birdie.
6-footer.
Okay. So picks one up there. But this is the man who had the lead by 1 to start the day.
J.J. Spaun in his second U.S. Open. Never had a top 20 in a major. Best ever major round in his 27th turned into that opener. But he remarked after that, he said, a few years ago, after shooting the 66, I probably would have expected to play poorly. This is a kind of psychological turnaround that J.J. Spaun has made. And you have that support system. There's his wife Melody. He's got his 2 girls here, Emerson and Violet. And we alluded to it earlier, Kiz. You had a little bit of a heart-to-heart with J.J. Spaun earlier in his career. Said he was beating himself up too much.
Well, he's such a solid player. I played with him a lot over my career, and I just knew the potential he had in him and needed to change the way he's treating himself on the golf course. So I pulled him aside one day in the locker room, and his caddy came over, Mark Cairns, and said, "Thank you so much. Thank you. That's going to mean a lot to him." And ran into him on the range this week, and Mark's like, "I think it might be time for another one, kids."
Well, he might get his second win as a U.S. Open title. His only other win 3 years ago in San Antonio.
Couldn't have a better situation, Dan, to be able to see a putt roll almost on your identical line here. The conditions are not great, still raining, but you're going to get a pretty picture of what's about to happen before you go.
That playoff loss to Rory McIlroy at the Players Championship, huge championship, where we kind of first saw Spaun really hang in a big championship like that. And so you had the belief that he could hang out here with that 66 opening bogey-free round. But then after the start today, you figured, oh, not his day.
Go back to that 18th hole at the Players Championship. He hit a really nice putt from about 30 feet right on line, left it just a few inches short, but he can rely on how he felt in that situation and all the pressure and how he dealt with it in this situation to help him.
He's just kind of walking around, pacing it here. Families wondering if they're just a few moments away from welcoming a U.S. Open champion. So Hovland's going to give him this teach. This rain is kind of intensifying a little bit down there, Smiley.
It sure has, Dan. Just another factor to add to the equation. But you guys said it. The fact that he gets a perfect teach on what I would call a very difficult wag putt, it's such a good break. And he's had so many good breaks since the restart. Before that, I can't tell you how many bad breaks that J.J. Spaun has gotten.
Don't forget, Hovland has to hold this to have a chance. So he's going to give it its due run here.
Got enough pace.
Boy, did he ever give it a run. And that will give Spaun a good idea of the kind of pace that he has to do to two-putt to put the title away. And you see J.J. coming in here behind him, Kiz.
I bet you he was walking as he took it back to get a look here. And I really like the situation for J.J. that he ran it to the hole, so it shows J.J. that he can be comfortable hitting it with enough pace to get it there. It's not going to get too far away from him if it gets by the hole.
J.J. Spaun said he went down a rabbit hole after missing the cut at the Memorial recently. Just kind of got on the range, started beating balls. Then he got together with Josh Gregory, short game coach. There's Josh, who totally changed the technique around the greens. And it was Spaun who went to work right away, took advantage of that, and his short game has been impeccable.
Also, I saw him helping him with reading putts today, warming up and visualizing where he wanted the ball to roll. That's all JJ's going through right here, is seeing the visual where he wants this ball to roll halfway there, and as it crests and rolls down towards the hole.
Just want to cozy it up. Don't need to make it. 2 putts.
How about 1? In one of the most unlikely final round Sundays in U.S. Open history, J.J. Spaun closes the deal with a birdie at the last.
You could have never dreamt this Sunday for Spaun. The start and that finish. Birdies the final 2 holes. And J.J. Spaun is the latest U.S. Open champion at Oakmont. Melody, his wife, and his 2 girls saw it all. I don't even think they can believe it. Now Hovland finishing out for par. What a week for Victor.
That was impressive, dude. Congrats. Good job, mate. Pretty proud of yourself, buddy.
Just in case you're wondering, that was the longest putt made by anyone this week. Spaun at the last from 64 feet 5 inches.
That's the coolest experience you can have right there. Walking away with your girls on Father's Day after you just won the U.S. Open.
Attitude, which J.J. Spaun, as we described, struggled with, turned out to be the best club in his bag. The stuff you dream about. You need 2 putts. You get a nice teach by Hovland, and you watch it disappear. And you do a little dance in the rain with your caddy. Father's Day indeed. Think Josh Gregory's not a little fired up? And the other side of it, pretty good sportsmanship there Robert McIntyre. Wow.
Yeah.
So now we're live and scoring with JJ. Wow, the heart's pounding. Ours is still pounding after that finish.